Hi all, thanks for joining me today. Candace Gillespie here from CandacesCanvases.com, and I have a special treat for you. Yes, this is Cards Monday, but today I'm going to start a three-part series of a circular type box using this Trim the Tree Designer Series paper stack. So you'll have to forgive me for not posting a Fun Friday video. I woke up with the worst crick in my neck I have ever experienced in my life. I couldn't move my head at all. I immediately went to the doctor's that morning, got on some pain medication and some muscle relaxers, and then those made me sick to my stomach. Anyway, I don't know what's wrong. I feel like since I've turned 31 or had a baby, I don't know which one it is, I've just always sick. I used to never get sick. So anyway, I'm back mostly somewhat. Still have a crick in my neck, but I'm feeling all right. So well enough to at least look at the computer and not feel nauseous. So here I am just attaching two pieces of this paper stack that match at a 1/4 inch length, and then I'm scoring it along the length there at 1/2 inch. And then I'm using the measurements on my Simply Scored scoring tool here, and see I'm using the end there, the last 1/4 inch, to apply some fast fuse. So I can put this into a circle, stick it into a circle or a cylinder, that's what it's called. Okay, once that's nice and stuck, the lower half that has been scored, we're going to go ahead and take notches out of that. I would say every 1/4 inch or so. The closer they are together, the more of a circular shape you'll get. The farther apart they are, the more of like a octagonal feel, you know, it'll start to feel like that. So okay, so once those are all cut, you just fold them all down and then apply some adhesive of your choice really. I'm using Tombow here. You can use fast fuse or sticky strip or anything like that. And then using my Circles Collection framelit, I'm using the 1/3 from the largest to cut out some scrap Kraft cardstock that I have. And so I glued that onto the bottom, and I'm sticking my hand in there to kind of make sure those get stuck down there pretty well. And then I'm going to glue this one to the inside just by adding some glue to it and then sticking it down. Put it in there. Okay, then I always use my bone folder to make sure that the glue is pressed down pretty well, nice and infused with the fibers of the paper. And then I'm using the next size larger of the framelits to, now the lids on all three projects is what's going to be different. The basic build of the box is going to be the same. So the lid for this box is made with sheets of coordinating cards or designer series paper, and I think I cut these, it just depends on how tall you want the lid. So I think I cut these at 2.5. I basically cut those strips in half, and then I glued them together as tiny and as tight, close as I could to it being the full piece. And then I scored that at 1/2 inch. Here I accidentally started scoring at a 1/4 inch and realized, oops. And then basically you put the lid together the same way you put the cylinder together. So here we're along the portion that we scored, I'm just cutting out notches along the entire strip. And like I said, the closer you do your little notches, the better your circular shape will turn out. And then I'm folding this in the direction I want it to be stuck down. I want that kind of plaid pattern to be the outside of the lid. And then once that's nice and folded, I'm going to just apply glue along that whole of every single notch there. So this is a part where, again, you can use, here I'm using Tombow, it's a liquid glue. You can put adhesive, fast fuse, or sticky strip, or anything like that, whatever you feel more comfortable with. And then I cut out 2 more pieces of the Kraft cardstock, and I'm just going to line them up the best I can along the edge of this cardstock. Now remember that these circular die cuts are a size larger, so they're going to be kind of wobbly on top, but I'll show you how to fix that in a second, or how I remedied it for this specific box. So then I cut off the excess of that strip there and just made sure I had plenty of glue on there so that when it overlaps it'll be stuck down. Okay, now while I was cutting those pieces of Kraft cardstock, I also cut a piece of that Coordinating Designer Series paper. So this one will go on the inside, and then that Designer Series paper circle there will be glued on top. Using my bone folder, make sure that adhesive's nice and stuck down. And here's where I'll glue this on top. Oh yeah, I wanted to show you how I'm just kind of squeezing or fitting my nozzle, the thin nozzle of the Tombow, into that little piece that needed a little extra glue. That's what I like the Tombow for. It has that finer tip. It's kind of a thinner glue, and so that finer tip you can get into the smaller areas, and you can really control how much glue, for the most part, that you use. Okay, so that's going to go right on top. Make sure that's centered. Okay, so then it fits right on top like this. Now it's pretty loose. I would say it's about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch too big. So what I'm doing is I'm sped this up a little bit, but I took my craft knife and about 1 inch long, maybe 1 inch and 1/8, I cut 2 slits on opposite sides at the bottom. And you'll see I am bringing in my cherry cobbler 1-inch sheer linen ribbon, and I'm measuring it so that I have plenty to tie a bow on top. So it's going to be thread through those 2 on the bottom there. I'll show you in a second, using my craft scissors to cut that. So I'm threading one piece through one side through the left part and one side through the right part, and I'm speeding through this. Now this is pretty tight with the single slit. I'll show you with a lid or I'll explain to you how I fixed that. So I'm just adding 2 glue dots to the bottom of this so it doesn't shift around. I don't think it would because it's pretty tight in there. So now you put your goodies in there like that, or your gift, and then you cut the same slits out of your lid. And I didn't show it in the video, but I realized after I was done filming how to remedy this a lot better. So here you see me just cutting 1 slit. I'm kind of lining it up with my cutting mat there at the bottom. But I ended up taking my scissors and slipping them in that hole and then trimming that about 1/16 of an inch wide, so the ribbon fit freely in there and it wasn't so tight that when the lid comes off it just will slide right out. I didn't do that in the video, but I did do that when I was done with it. So you'll see here it just is real tight to fit in there, it's fine too. It just, it depends on how you want it to be. And I decided that was too tight for my comfort. I wanted it to be a little looser and a little easier for the recipient to just take that lid right off. Kind of understand the mechanisms of this box. So I love that when this lid just kind of props open, it just sits like that. It's so cute. The ribbon just kind of grabs it and it sits there. And then when you want to put the lid on, you just pull those ribbons and then you tie your bow or your knot, whatever decorative topper you'd like. And in the next 2 videos for Scrappy Wednesday and Fun Friday, I'll show you 2 different lids that are just super fun. You'll see a picture of the trio at the end of this video, but I'll actually show you how to make them in upcoming days ahead. Tie a little bow. Now we're not quite done yet. I'm bringing in the Merry Everything stamp set. This is brand new from our holiday mini catalog. And I'm using some Whisper White cardstock to stamp this on, and Cherry Cobbler Classic Stampin' ink. Now you'll notice I'm going to stamp this first, and then I'm going to punch it out, and then I'm going to place it on top of the second stamp so both sides get stamped, and I'll show you how that's done. So first you stamp it down. Now I learned, and you'll see in next videos to come, I think I filmed it, that it's better to stamp your less full image first, and then see how I inked up my stamp, turned it upside down, and aligned my die cut over that, or my punched out image over that inked up stamp set, and it lines it up just perfectly. You can always use your Stamp-A-Magic too. That'll work fine. Okay, so just tidy up real quick. Now I'm going to bring in my 1/8 circle punch to punch a hole at the top of that tag. This is such a fun punch. I'm so glad I got it. I have so many punches and I wasn't sure if I wanted this, but I'm glad I did because I'm just going to use it so for every gift tag that I possibly need. And of course I'm bringing in my favorite linen thread and tying that to the bow on the top of the box. So there's the first of 3 of our circular boxes. And I think you see how it's kind of loose like that. And if you just pull that ribbon tight, it'll fit nice and tight on there. It just depends on how tight you tie your ribbon. So there's the picture of the 3 that are coming. The middle and the one on the left are the next 2 tutorials coming. Thank you so much for watching today. Thanks for subscribing and liking this video, and feel free to visit Candace'sCanvases.com to join my team or to shop. I'll see you there. Have a good day. Bye.